an extremely fast-paced sport in which top European competitors can make a living playing. Dean Shoppe, representing the Manhattan Beach Badminton Club, offered some information on the game.
In the men's singles, we have a fabulous matchup. We have Roy Diaz-Gonzalez, who historically for the last 10 years has probably been the leading and most outstanding player in North America for, like I said, at least the last decade. And he'll be playing against Danny Brady from the United States. Danny's from Michigan, and he was our finalist in the United States Nationals. And so that matchup should be extremely interesting. There have been some very tight women's singles matches, and last year's was one of them between Pam Owens of the United States, originally also from Michigan, however moved out west here, and Maria de La Paz Luna from Mexico City. La Paz won last year in 2 games, but both games were extremely close, and we're hoping for the same thing or better out of Pam this year.
The Challenge Cup competition stems from a long-standing friendship between Wes Shoppe from the U.S. and Victor Jaramillo of Mexico. Both have worked closely together to promote the game and are convinced the Challenge Cup between the U.S. and Mexico, beginning the U.S. Open tournament, will attract players not eligible for other international events. An increase in local play will also be good for the game's future. Although badminton is popular, second only to soccer in other countries, Americans tend to keep it as a backyard game.
The correct pronunciation for the name of badminton in English is badminton, as in a bad boy. It's mispronounced a lot, and it's partly because of the overall esteem of the sport is very low in our country because of things like backyard badminton sets. People get a set and they go out in their backyard and they hit with it, and they're playing with a racket that's 5, 6, 7 ounces, where the rackets we're using are 3.5 to 4 ounces, extremely light and all of high technical type equipment.
A professional racket may run $50 to $125, compared to a backyard set, which may cost $10 and include 4 rackets.
The bird that we use, and the bird being the name that most people in the United States would call this, the true name for this object in my hand is called a shuttlecock, and we shorten it by calling it the shuttle. The ones that we use and the ones used throughout all tournament badminton are made of feathers, either goose or duck feathers. It takes 8 ducks or 8 geese to make one of these little birds. You can only use 2 feathers off of any one wing, and you can't mix right and left wing feathers together when you make them because they won't spin properly. They're very aerodynamic.
If you're having some trouble seeing the shuttle in flight, remember it's traveling at 160 miles per hour. The popularity of badminton is slowly catching on in the United States. But with the necessary funds and sponsorship on the increase, you probably will see badminton competitions in the 1992 Olympics. Oh, by the way, the United States won the Challenge Cup, 3-2.